Okay, all flight controllers, go, no go for power descent. Eppendorf tubes, go. Kimwax, go. Ice bucket, go. Ethanol spray, go. Pipette man, go. Test tubes, go. Pipette tips, go. Agarose, go. Distilled water, go. Beaker, go. 50 mil Falcon tube, go. 15 mil Falcon tube, go. Capcom, we are go for power descent.
Tom, can I ask you something? What about this control room there? What is happening in here?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you think we could eventually go and see that control room, or is that a no-go? Yeah.
So this is what we call a bench board right here. We have what we call a shift engineer at this particular station who's kind of the conductor of the whole orchestra.
Yes.
She or he would be the one who'd be controlling the bench board people to set the proper conditions.
How do you communicate from one to another?
The test manager will tell the shift engineer, I want to run this Mach number, this angle of attack, side slip.
Control room are a really interesting space. You know, I've always been fascinated by sort of like closed loop architecture. You know, the sort of architecture where everything happens within it. Typically, let's say a scenario, something is crashing, the customer is watching over there, something is going wrong. What do you do? You give him coffee. What do you? What's happening?
There's some pretty intense concentration going on.
Yes.
Here because there's a lot that we're at risk. Anybody can just yell comp stop.
What's it?
Comp stop.
Cop stuff.
Comp stop, which is short for compressor stop, and that means they hit that big red button over there, and everything comes offline and down to a safe state.
Which one is the red button? I'm not going to touch it. Don't worry. I'm just asking. So, you know, when you're a NASA flight director, you cannot just be there and collapse in the middle of a mission because something is going wrong, because there is an alarm, because there is a data dropout. You actually have to figure out how to reassemble your team and how to sort of like recreate a new dynamic, a new working dynamic to actually find a solution. I pretty much feel like if I'm an astronaut right now. So, International Space Orchestra future member, welcome. I guess I just really wanted to thank you all for coming today. Nice to meet you, by the way. I'm Nelly. The International Space Orchestra, it's a world first, right? It's never been done before. Come in, welcome. We've got an incredible musical director that you will meet a bit later on, who has been awarded already 2 Grammy Awards because he's an incredible jazzman.
Hello, International Space Orchestra. My name is Evan Price. I'm your music director, and I'm really looking forward to working with all of you. This is my first space orchestra experience, as I'm sure it's yours. In fact, it's the first in the world, so we have nothing to lose. This will be the best ever International Space Orchestra. I'm excited to meet you all next week when I get back in town. See you soon.
I guess I should tell you as well that it's an outreach event because, you know, I guess NASA Ames is such a massive place, 2,500 researchers. So it's as well bringing this whole event together so then we can all meet and make something happen. Okay, let's go and take this picture. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Yes, it's going to be very enjoyable, but then also it's going to be quite hard work. So I just hope that you're all going to take part in this and like take it with the right attitude. Okay, keep it up. Let's make a lot of noises. Okay, shall I give you some welcome pack? Here we are.
Okay, thank you.
Please, please come on board. You're definitely on board.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to pursue
yeah.
you
This is
anymore.
great. No,
Yes,
I'm good.
yes. And so I see you next week then.
I'll see you next week.
Next week,
Thank
Thursday.
you for organizing this.
Thank you so much.
This is a fun idea. I'm looking forward to it.
Are you here next week?
Tuesday, I want to go and see the jazz band performing.
Where are they performing?
I think it's in a restaurant
Oh, okay. Well, the bluegrass practices at
at
lunchtime.
the recreation. Okay, perfect. But then I will be there.
Lunchtime, like
So I do that. I come on Tuesday,
Okay.
and I recruit everybody,
Okay, there you
and I get you all on board. Yes, yes, you're all coming on board. This Thursday, first rehearsal.
Today?
No, this Thursday.
Remains to be seen how many musicians are going to show up.
That would be a lot of people. We've got so many answers from everybody. This is crazy. It's at least I reckon we should have at least 60 musicians.
60?
Yeah, I think.
60?
I think. Have you got any female in the band? I was wondering.
No.
No.
What about? I want to be part of the jazz band. I have a
do you
terrible
play?
voice. I don't play anything.
Oh.
We had an induction, some fellows. You know.
Yeah.
That's one. There I am at 25.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what the brother said. You were a really good-looking kid then. I said, what do you mean then?
Yeah.
And that's something else. Those are real plugs for the spacecraft,
Yeah.
like the John Glenn spacecraft, the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo. And when Harvey retired, they gave him that plug out of the real spacecraft, which I thought was kind of neat.
Why don't you explain to him about your project, Nelly?
So just to tell you a bit about the project, Jack.
Yeah.
We are doing a project which is called the International Space Orchestra. So the idea is to bring together NASA employees, and what we are doing is we are going to be performing music which has been created specifically for NASA.
We're still trying to figure out how the bluegrass is going to fit in there, but she assures
All-
us that we can go.
I think it's all have been arranged for everybody to be on board, and I'm just really hoping just that you come on board as well.
And what would I do?
That well, we can find you something to do.
I'm
Jack,
not
say
very
yes.
musical.
I know, but you don't need to be. I can get you a triangle. So Jack, I take it you're on board.
Pardon?
You're on board. Yes?
On board?
On
Well,
board.
sure, I'll do something. You remind me of a good con artist.
A good what?
You know what a
Con
con artist
artist,
is?
con
No.
artist.
What is it?
I don't know the translation in French.
I don't either.
Someone who can sell anything to anybody.
Annette Rodriguez. Do you want to tell me a bit more about how it all started?
I was the first astronaut trainer
Yeah.
in life sciences at Ames. My
That's-
job was to just make sure they did everything they were supposed to do in flight,
Yeah.
that they were trained, and they were trained so that if something went wrong,
Yeah.
they knew what they had to do to make it right. The astronauts I trained, there were 6 of them that I was with all the time. We still share Christmas cards where we kind of grew up together. Music was always important to me to relax, and to be expressive. You know, science is black and white, and music probably isn't. You can play with
Flexibility.
it
Yeah.
and mix it up, but it still takes a creative mind to do it.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this evening at our first International Space Orchestra rehearsal. So we've got Evan Price there, who is our musical director of the International Space Orchestra, that you're going to see for a fair amount of time in the next weeks. We only have 2 months to actually really perform all these pieces of music perfectly. Each of these players are these fantastic scientists who are working on very specific mission at the moment, all of them being really busy. How do you get them all together inside a room as volunteers to actually perform these pieces of music?
All right, so let's listen to this one. This is brand new. This was sent to me 2 days ago from England. Here we go. So a few opening remarks about what we're doing here. No, I can't explain that, but does any of you engineering types want to explain what a wow signal is?
So what happened with the wow signal? You were there.
Oh, the wow signal. Oh,
On the 17th of August in 1977, we got sent two very clear, very strong bursts of radio waves at frequency of 1,420 megahertz. So the guy came in on Monday morning to do the readouts and went through all the numbers, and he just sort of put a big circle around these two signals and wrote "wow" in the margin with an exclamation mark.
We look for radio transmissions from space that have characteristics that can only be created by technology. So to be accurate, we are searching for technology, because if there's technology, there's a brain behind it. So there's an intelligent creature behind it that has created the technology.
So the machine, it automatically, the first thing it does is it discovers an interesting signal, and then it reobserves the same one more time. And if it's still there, that's the first test. Then it moves the telescope away. And if it disappears, that's the second test, it moves it back. And if it reappears, that's the third test. You know, and you keep going back and forth until you've gone through 5 iterations of on-offs.
Mm.
And if it passes all of those tests, then human beings get alarms.
The wow signal is 35 years old. Since that time, many observers have looked at the place in the sky that signal is claimed to have come from.
Yeah.
And looked over and over and over, and has never been seen again.
It's just a really lovely thing. It's sort of somehow ideas about communicating with sort of extraterrestrial civilization. It somehow puts everything in perspective.
From the top. 1, 2, 3, and. Three, 4, 2, 3. Measure 5, 2, 3, 4, 1.
The concerts they are performing is called Ground Control, an opera in space. And what that is, it's actually, all of them performing a role as if they were inside the control room.
Remember, we are inside a control room at a very, very crucial moment. We are receiving a signal from space. That's quite magical in itself.
So I took that number, the 1,420, 1420, and put it into C major. So you get C, F, D. And then I took the 0 as being one below 1. So that's B. So you get dum 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 dum. So that's the chord progression, and then also the melody up at the top is variations on that. Yeah, and it works quite nicely because you get this kind of high and fast, low and slow, kind of give you a sense of motion.
Music for me?
Yes.
I started playing in the bluegrass band because I started playing my guitar again after 35 years. That gave me an excuse to practice again, yeah. And then I took up the dobro because nobody else was using it, and that gave me a unique instrument. There's several little fellows I work with play music.
Yeah.
And there is a definite correlation between the logic of music and the logic of computer programming. So this is Pleiades. Pleiades is 10,000 PCs. Places like Amazon and stuff have even more computers, but they usually give one computer to a job. The difference with the way we use it is we use 10,000 of the computers on one job to solve these big problems of weather and aerodynamics.
Can we get lost in there?
You can. It just goes on and on and on. I just say it's boxes that hum. They're just boxes that make noise, you know. The only nice thing about this way is you get to see this beautiful view we have, at least for a while more.
Are they going to build something?
Yeah, Google is. You see that fence there that they just started building the Googleplex that's going to grow up over there on a clear day, and like late in the afternoon when the wind comes up. It's really spectacular view and heavy sigh. The progress of man. Yeah. So, yeah, I remember when this was a different place a little bit. Here's a photo. I took this photo one day coming home from lunch. Isn't that a beautiful photo?
Okay, now move. The last major mission that I worked, which was on a space shuttle, was the Neural Lab mission. This award was given to me by the crew members, and it was in a special award ceremony here at Ames. And not a lot of people get awards specifically for a particular payload. I'm kind of a perfectionist, and being a perfectionist, sometimes you rub people the wrong way, and I'm a pretty high energy person, so I try to keep myself calm, but you know, sometimes that doesn't always work. But I've learned how to do that much better working here at NASA, and I'm very, very proud of the fact that I work here for NASA. My grandmother had this cornet, and she wanted to give it to one of the kids. I just wanted to play an instrument. I don't know why, I just did. So she handed it to me, and the next semester I signed up for band in 8th grade. And Milpitas sent out an email and some notices about, you know, we're going to start a community band. Is there anybody out there in the Milpitas community that used to play an instrument, would like to pick it up again and join a community band? I said, you know what? I was like in a down mode at that point in my career and my life where I needed happy. And I thought, you know, when I was playing my instrument, I was really happy because it was just for me. It wasn't for the kids. It wasn't for my husband. It was just BJ's thing. Yeah. So I just put my name in. This year they're celebrating the 20th year of the community band in Milpitas, and I'm one of the original members of the band. So I've been playing for 20 years, yeah. I want to see you performing in there.
That's just because I've been playing 20 years doesn't mean I got any better, okay?
Then we had as well Mawadeki on board. Mawadeki, who is this fantastic as well designer, performer, he's a bit of everything. He's actually really famous in Japan. He's a pop star character who actually built his whole business on nonsense. And he wrote a piece of music called Kimi wa Ippuron that all our choir members are actually singing in Japanese.
Let's crash through. In tempo, please. And choir, I'm not grading you on your Japanese. If you want to da-da-da-da-da, that's fine. But please try to find the pitches today.
Ready, go. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, off. 1, 2. Yes.
If other people can't see that you can be a musician as well as a nanotechnologist, I honestly don't see how you can be either without being both. I think that coming to NASA was sort of inevitable. When I was a kid, growing up, I'm fascinated by NASA, always have been fascinated by the meatball, just fascinated by NASA, period. And then I never had a plan, though, to get here. You know, I was a teen mom, and my husband and I were teen parents. And
So when did you get your first kid?
17. Still graduated, top of the class. Husband did the same thing, top of the class. And we kept going. I mean, and that's what you do. And we could not be more happy because the children have helped us with that. Because sometimes they were rearing us as we were rearing them.
Yeah.
A lot of music.
We've had some moments.
Music's been a really big
part of that.
It's been a big part of that. It's been a big part of helping us get through when we didn't know what was going on, when, you know, Daddy was at sea for 6 and 8 months at a time, and we did our own little mini musicals to kind of keep things going or put something on when he came back, or whatever was going on in the family at the time. There always seemed to be a piece of it that art or music had a big part in. And every step of the way was something that we learned along the way that led me to being in the position here at NASA.
So when it goes back here, when it goes here, we go back.
Oh, okay.
We go.
So what's the issue with
and then we
keeping
go
up?
back, and then we go back to.
It's all Japanese.
It's a return. It's a return. So.
It always fascinated me to know whether or not they could like perform this music in Japanese. I mean, there is obviously bits of the program we have to do purely with, you know, whether or not, you know, we can make it as a group, and that's sort of like show off quite a lot of what we achieve in this like 2 months.
Zika in Ryoko Ushiyo wo yo. One more time. Zika in Ryoko Ushiyo wo yo.
Keep going.
One more time.
Zika in Ryoko Ushiyo wo yo. Keep going. Zika.
One more time. Sorry.
Keep going one more time.
That's it.
Right.
Very good. Very good.
What is this?
Yes, so you're supposed to be able to spin it so that one goes one way and one goes the other. So that, and then you kind of like, then you throw it. It's small animals or easterners that annoy you.
Is that so are you going to like use it in the corridor here? You schlit!
Yeah!
The whole area of bioelectrochemistry
Yeah.
is new to NASA.
Yeah.
So we just
Started.
So this is a bioelectrochemical cell. This is from a company called Cambrian Innovation, and we are working with this just as a proof of principle for what you can do with bacteria. And the bacteria are consuming glucose. We put glucose in it. Glucose is a carbon source and glucose is an energy source.
Yeah.
And they metabolize the glucose, they break it down,
Yeah.
and it releases energy.
Yeah.
And the energy it releases is in the form of protons. NASA is interested in this as a forward electrochemical cell. It's also interested in this as a reverse electrochemical cell. It allows you to take electricity and produce a product like glucose, which
Yeah.
you might want to eat in space, such as sugar or other food substance or biomaterial or bioplastic.
So far, you didn't really develop any public engagement ways of speaking about what you're doing.
Not for this project, no.
So here you are. That's a project for
Yes,
next year.
Indeed. We'll have the bioelectrochemical opera.
Yes.
If something goes wrong, then the flight director has to quickly organize the team to analyze the problem.
The nice element of the collaboration has been to meet with NASA flight director Rusty Hunt, which is involved with L-Cross mission and LADI, and together we wrote this piece on the Apollo mission. We actually put together this piece where each of the choir members were given a role, and then they perform it like lived from so all the stress which happened during the Apollo mission and during Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin flight up there, including the data dropout, including, you know, the fuel problem, including the alarm problem, and it's all like the sort of how, you know, like, it's all bring together in operatic form.
Contact back with the Earth. 2 pages later, where it has flight, okay, all flight controllers, go, no go for powered descent. This is one of the better parts that everybody gets to do.
Okay, all flight controllers, go, no go for powered descent. Retro, go. Pilot, go. Guide, go. Control, go. Telcom, go. GNC, go. Econ, go. Surgeon, go. Capcom, word go for powered descent.
Are we doing it on your laptop or on mine? Yours?
Actually, let me just print this out and we'll...
You need to give them the role. You've got Public Affairs Officer Leighton.
He can narrate, you know, he can kind of fill in to kind of help the audience understand what's going on.
Then you've got Flight Director, you've got John Cumbers. John Cumbers is great because he's funny.
We're gonna go out and beers on me! Damn it, I really did something!
Capcom is spacecraft communicator.
Okay, and that's
Derek.
And that's good.
Derek.
Roger, 1202. We copy it.
Surgeon is Jeffrey Lee.
We have a FIDO.
What is FIDO?
FIDO is the Flight Dynamics Officer.
So that's Marian.
So you want me to be Eagle?
Yeah, you're Eagle.
That's awesome.
And then...
so Eagle is Neil Armstrong / Buzz Aldrin.
Roger, burn was on time. Residuals before nulling.
It's mostly Buzz Aldrin, actually.
Yeah.
Because Neil Armstrong's busy flying.
Flying the thing, I got that.
That is the command module.
So that is Yvonne and Nelly. Yvonne Geiger, yeah.
Okay.
So you probably want to put Yvonne first because I'm not, I'm not a real astronaut, but she is.
We've lost data point.
Karen Bradford would be perfect at Telcom.
Ooh, awesome. At Telcom, that's the...
Communication Officer. Sarah. So this is data role. So I put her now as being the data processing system engineer. Have you got Russian interface operator?
I mean, if we're going to do Apollo, the Russians were our enemies. They weren't there. And
yeah, but that's what is quite quirky.
To land on the surface of the moon.
Jonathan is really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of precedence. And he's got a Russian hat. Can he not play the spy?
The spy?
Yeah, that would be great, the Russian spy. You think politically it would be a bit problematic to have a Russian spy inside a...
Yeah.
Altitude 40,000 feet. Program alarm.
Affirmative.
1202, 1202.
1202, alarm!
Give us a reading on that 1202 program alarm.
The alarm part, you probably want to make it more like alarm. You are the sort of the tragedy chorus. This is what you're, and actually everybody should be doing it. I think everybody should be saying the 1202, 1202, alarm, like there is something happening.
Altitude 40,000 feet. Program alarm.
Affirmative.
1202, 1202.
1202, 1202, 1202, 1202, alarm! Oh, this is great. So then, Yvonne, you have been Capcom.
Well, not Capcom, but yeah, I've been in mission control totally. Especially, like you said, when something's going on and you need to cue the team, everybody on console, that there's an issue without it being projected in your voice. But the one other area where there should be an even long pause, maybe 4 or 5 Scooby-Doos, I love it, is right here where it's like, okay, we copy you down, Eagle. And then right here, this is almost like a collective sigh, a global, a national, an international sigh of relief. Because the next voice you hear is going to be Eagle responding. We're on the moon, this is it. That should almost be, every word is just like a crystal coming through. The Eagle has landed. That's history, it's epic. Everyone in the world has been waiting to hear those words, and everybody's the chills. Yeah, so that if there's some way to really pull that out so it doesn't sound like just a response. This is great though, this is so cool. Just chills just sitting here looking at it. Yeah, very nice.
So what I would like you to do, each of you, is to go through all the text, looking at your character and looking at who you are, and whenever your name is appearing, you underline, yeah? So can you all do that for let's say 5 minutes? And then we are going to do another run through. I want to see you really all doing and putting some effort in this, all of you. Look around, be scooting around you, look behind you, what's going on in the control room. Show me the tension on your face. It's like you've got 2 of these guys up there inside the rocket, you're responsible of them. This is a massive, massive pressure for you. Okay? And then you feel for the poor flight controller who is behind you, he's super stressed. Okay, are we ready? 3, 2, 1, blast off!
This is Apollo Control in Houston, the Apollo Command Module Columbia, flown by astronaut Mike Collins, is about to come around into view of Earth, followed soon after the lunar module Eagle, with astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin.
It's not enough, you really need to push it more. The inspiration for the way you act is the Curiosity landing. Curiosity landing was super emotional. Okay, 3, 2, 1, Layton.
This is Apollo Control in Houston. Then the Apollo lunar module will begin the final leg of its 250,000-mile journey from the Earth to the Moon.
Okay, gang, we've had a...
Wait. No, we need to get this sorted because this is like the entrance line. Just really give it the passion. Give it the passion. You can do that. And just really get your voice out whenever you think there is an important word. Okay, let's do it again. Layton, you can do this. Yes. It's quite a big pressure because Bobby Womack is coming on the 6th of September, and then we are recording to Skywalker Sound Studio as well, which is, the famous George Lucas branch where he actually recorded Star Wars. So all of this together sort of like put quite a big high-end pressure on all of us on the project because we need to get, the International Space Orchestra player to perform at their very best. Arthur Jeff composed a piece of music which is called Aurora Coralis, which is a piece of music which comes as an interlude. During the Apollo 11 mission, they had all this big issue and sort of made sense that the flight director at some point is just collapsing. It came about that John Combers had this fantastic baby. And I just thought, well, it would be quite fascinating if, suddenly our flight director is sort of like having this dreamy moment where his baby is sort of like appearing inside the control room. And sort of like flying by, arriving in his hand and sort of like disappearing again and sort of like bringing it back straight into the reality of, the drama of what's going on inside the control room.
Houston, you are go.
With this project, we do have quite a surrealistic element to do with it and quite absurd at some point. So, having a baby as part of the International Space Orchestra was adding to it.
Johannes Kepler was a famous astrologer and astronomer. He discovered that the planets did not move in exact mystical circles, but instead moved in ellipses. He was also a science fiction writer like myself, Kepler. He was the first to write about a travel to another planet in his novel, Somnium, which is one of the earliest stories of a trip to the moon. So I wanted to write about the Kepler satellite, which is a device named after Kepler, which aims at discovering planets around other worlds. And it's a very sensitive instrument, and it can detect tiny movements in the stars, movements which are caused by the presence of planets, even planets as small as the Earth. So the search for habitable planets is a very old science fictional theme.
My heart is full of hopes, science in my telescopes. My screens are full of data that we're always seeking, finding brave new worlds every week.
So I wondered what could motivate a person in a control room to sing an aria, and I decided that the emotions there would be pride and joy. Pride in the technical mastery of these devices, and joy in discovering other worlds.
This is Kepler's aria. My heart's full of hope, science in my telescope. My screens are full of data that we're always seeking, finding brave new worlds every week. Gravity's rainbow, orbital dynamics make my brain glow. I see with the satellites beyond our sky blue. There's no finer thing that a technician can do. Eyes of mankind search among the stars to find habitable planets where someday we'll see space controllers out there just like me. Arms of our galaxy, the joy of astral seismology. I discover planets that are extrasolar. That's my noble calling as a space controller. We study gleaming star. We're smarter than 100 apple genius bar. Any day will bring the world a big surprise. Pretty sure to bring us all the Nobel Prize. Kepler's bright stars, celestial guitars. I record the loops and tracks of orbit. I'm the DJ here, you better not ignore it.
2, 3.
When I turned 16, I'd been playing cello for quite a while, and I had this old loaner abused cello that had gotten me through high school. And my grandmother was really into music, and she offered me the choice between helping me buy a car as a teenager with a brand new driver's license or getting me a really decent cello. And so I picked the cello pretty quick. And so she took me to a little place called Weaver's Music in Washington, D.C., and they had a bunch of these nice new Char cellos and a whole room full of cellos. You could just sit down and try them until you liked them. And then they had this 100-year-old cracked German thing that they kind of put back together and had in the side of the shop. And I got to try this one out, and it's just perfect. It was like it was built for me. When I like to play by myself, and that used to be taking my wife on dates up to the coast, and we'd have a midnight picnic and I'd play on the coast. But now that we have a kid, that means not doing that. But this is a pretty good place to come and be secluded. If there's no training going on here, chances are very strong you're not bothering anybody no matter how loud you play. I did some soul searching when I was younger and realized that I don't think that I could be in a professional orchestra, do it for my living, practice 8 hours a day, and it would be fun anymore. Whereas I did feel that the rescue work that I do and the technology work that I do is always fun no matter how long I'm doing it.
How you call the site? What is the name of it?
Disaster site works for me. It's a disaster training grounds, essentially. If we're going to train a team to do vehicle extrication, we use the wrecked cars and the wrecked bus. We'll forklift it out here, turn it over upside down, and, do that.
So we are at a really exciting time of the International Space Orchestra because we are going to go to Skywalker Ranch, and we want to have a beautiful recording of all of us because the aim is to send that record in space. We want to have the right quality for it because who knows what is out there. David! Yes, where are you, David? Peter! Yes. BG! Yes. Veronica! Veronica, she's not coming the bus. Rusty Hunt, I saw you, Rusty. Is there? Arthur, you're here. Okay, we are ready to go!
No, we are not PG.
Ewoks. I see an Ewok. But remember to look very professional. Skywalker, we did this before. We are used. Remember, we are used to these sort of things, right?
We spend a lot of time recording large orchestras for film scores and video games, and plus a lot of classical recording, and that's how we spend our time. You know, NASA people spend their time doing much more heady stuff. We just make records here. But it really, I think, is so fantastic that of all the places the International Space Orchestra could have recorded it, it would be at the home of Star Wars.
Houston Eagle, how do you read?
Reading it loud and clear.
Houston Eagle, our position looks to be downrange from expected.
Trouble 2, alarm!
The auto-targeting was taking us right into a football field-sized crater with a large number of boulders and rocks for about 1 or 2 crater diameters around it, and it required flying manually over the rock field to find a reasonably good area to land.
Hello, wow. I can't believe this is all happening.
Hi, Nelly, how you
Hello,
doing?
well, make you. Good, and you? Are you not completely jet lag?
It's starting to take its effect a little bit.
And that's even on the wall.
I
there.
know, they've all stayed here.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But yeah, but she's our percussionist. She's the one who is doing the drum at the moment.
Which one there?
Yeah, the one in blue. So you will meet her tomorrow. Right, so now we are going to go to Moon Express, or Mac Moon. So it's an old McDonald's which has been turned into a place where they recover the images from Apollo 11 mission. So you know I told you about the satellite which has been sent.
Yeah. And they've got the only machine that can read the thing.
Exactly.
Yes.
So in this place, this is your. Let's see if Kenny sees it.
Look.
Good friend of mine who just arrived.
Hi.
And they came all the way. They
Dennis.
just literally landed,
Cool.
literally 5 minutes ago. So Mike, Arthur.
Nice to meet you. Those tapes right there are the original tapes.
Whoa.
From the actual.
Wow.
From space, yes.
Yeah,
Then you can have really high-res picture of like the actual surface of the moon.
Line 1478. Yeah, so we've got actually physical content with the tape. Is to sport what you eat every day.
Do you want me to show you everything?
Are we on the right side of the road?
Oh shit.
By which I mean, I think we're not on the right side of the road.
Sorry, guys.
Can we see the wind tunnels? That's like
Yeah.
that's
You want to see the wind tunnel? Okay. This is where we film.
Oh my God! Wow.
That is so cute. Now it's a really exciting rehearsal today. The International Space Orchestra team is all coming together. We had a lot of international flights arriving yesterday and today, and I just wanted to introduce you to this marvelous team who is there. So you've got all the filming crew here, Bruce Sterling, and his amazing wife, Jasmine Arstezanovich, Arthur Jeff, Mike Smith, and then we've got Phil Lee, who is the creative director of Excel Recording, Bobby Womack Label, and Damien Alban Label. Well, you can make it a bit louder.
My involvement with this project was to orchestrate The Bravest Man in the Universe, a song written by Bobby Womack. The legend that Bobby is and what he's brought to this project is wonderful, and I couldn't think of a better person to be sent into space than the voice of Bobby Womack.
While we were in NASA, Neil Armstrong passed away, and so it made complete sense to just have this music, The Bravest Man of the Universe, since we were reenacting the Apollo 11 mission.
The experience of being in and around International Space Orchestra is sort of immediate. It's just, a fun, life-enhancing thing. They're people in a highly technical line of work who are being allowed to socialize under circumstances where they normally don't mingle, and that can have a very liberating effect in a bureaucracy. And you meet people under circumstances like this who really are your colleagues, and you may have been working next to them for 10 years and never saying more than, "Can I get you a coffee?" And now you're sitting next to them and you're playing the oboe and they're playing the trumpet, and it's just, it's humanizing. I was surprised at how much they improve with a little rehearsal. I mean, I'm not a musician, I'm not a conductor. I mean, they're never gonna be the Philharmonic, all right? But that's not the point.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Don't leave before you go and see Effie over there, because she needs to take the final measurement on your costume. Really important, you really need to do that, otherwise your costume is not going to be at the right size. So we see you all at 9:30 if you want to join at the reception at the Exploration Center. Otherwise, it's 1 p.m. at Building 3 for your costume. Thank you. Did you have your measure done, Barry?
We have to go. We're already late.
To put shoulder over there.
Okay, all right, got it. I can do that. Okay. So,
Yeah? Super!
See you tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Ivan. See you tomorrow. Okay. This morning we received the unfortunate news that Bobby Womack will not be able to join us on the shot and to perform with all of us today.
Bobby was so excited to attend today and be part of this, but unfortunately he left it as late as possible to make a decision on doctor's advice. They kept him in hospital overnight with some fluid in the lungs. Thanks for everyone's involvement. Really appreciate it from an Excel Recording's point of view. And yeah, hope it goes well this afternoon. So thank you very much.
Well, this is actually representative of what NASA and the space community needs to do. They need to have more cooperation. And the fact that we're all together to make this happen and put the show together and let people benefit from the sounds of this wonderful group that we have brought together. It's just a symbol of what has to happen if we're going to expand humanity into the universe. I understand that this afternoon is out at the inlet to the 80 by 120 segment of the wind tunnel. We'll be sure not to turn it on to make sure you don't get sucked up through it. And when I play the gong this afternoon,
yes,
I will not think of the gong show in the 1970s. I will think in terms of Beethoven and how I'm going to smooth it through. Okay? With that, I welcome you here to Ames. Have fun and enjoy it. Okay?
Thank you.
Can an astronaut help figure out a brother sewing machine?
Hello, bonjour Jonathan. Oh yes, I think we are not really quite there yet. Okay, well, it's good to know that we shouldn't make too much
Am I
close-up.
supposed to just wear it now or take it off and give it to somebody?
I guess Effie is going to take care of you.
Okay, she
will
did.
know. Yeah, she did already.
She did.
Okay,
So
well,
me?
let me see. Oh my god.
And they have a little. We're all in this for the long run.
Yes,
and we're
yes.
all in here
We are
together,
doing it,
and
yes.
that the show must go on.
Yes.
You know, in space, yeah, we don't turn around. We just keep.
Yeah, we just have to go with it.
We'll do it in tribute to Bobby. We'll just fire us up even more.
Yeah. For the technical people. Okay, that's it. Right, I've got the tape now.
Vilo, 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 find habitable planets where someday we'll see space controllers out there just like me.
Okay, guys, you guys go in the front. Yes, like this. That's great. Okay, let me see. Wait, what are you doing? Hey, the party's not over yet.
Shuttle flew out. Oh, there's the beer room.
Okay, make some space. Look at this guy. Some sort of passion.
Over there.
Yeah, get
Yes,
that's it. That's it.
Behold.
Yeah, there it is. Excellent. Let's stay
That's the one. Can I see everybody yet? No. David! David? Yeah, you look fantastic. Can you come one step further up? Okay, ready? Be beautiful. You're the best. Remember, you're inside the control room, leaving the Apollo mission.
Great. All right, we're good.
Action!
This is Apollo Control in Houston. The Apollo Command Module, Columbia, flown by astronaut Mike Collins, is about to come around into view of Earth, followed soon after by the Lunar Module Eagle, with astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. Flight Director Gene Kranz will poll his team for the final go, no-go for powered descent. If all systems are go, then the Apollo lunar module will begin the final leg of its 250,000-mile journey from the Earth to the Moon.
Okay, gang, we've had a good training period. And today, we're really gonna do it. We're really gonna land on the moon. This is the final exam. And I want you to know that this is the best team I've ever worked with. I have the ultimate confidence in you people. What we're about to do now is just like we did in training. And after we finish this son of a gun, we're gonna go out, we're gonna have a beer, and we're gonna say, damn it, we really did something. Good luck to y'all.
Good luck.
Roger, AOS Lamb.
Houston Eagle, Apogee 57.2, Paraloon 9.1, over.
Okay, all flight controllers, go, no go for powered descent. Retro.
Go.
FIDO.
Go.
Guidance.
Go.
Control.
Go.
Telecom.
Go.
GNC.
Go.
Ecom.
Go.
Surgeon.
Go.
Payload.
Go.
Network.
Go.
Rio.
Go.
NASA.
Go.
Capcom, we are go for powered descent.
Eagle, Houston, you are go for power descent.
Altitude 40,000 feet. Program alarm?
Affirmative.
1202. 1202.
1202, 1202, 1202, 1202,
alarm! 1202 alarm, the computer is getting too much data.
1202, 1202, 1202, 1202, alarm!
We're go on the 1202.
Roger, we are go on the 1202.
We're a go on that alarm.
We're still go for landing.
for landing.
Roger, understand. Go for landing.
Eagle, looking great. You're a go.
350 feet, down at 4. We're pegged on horizontal velocity.
Bob, I'll be standing by for your call.
200 feet, 4.5 down.
Low level.
Low level.
Low level, low level, low level, low level.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds.
Forward. Forward, drifting right. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. Engine arm off. 413 is in.
We copy you down, Eagle.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You've got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
The bravest man in the universe is the one who has forgiven first.
The bravest man in the universe.
I got a story I want to tell. Gather around me. Gather around me, boys and girls. I once was lost, but now I'm found. When I build up so high, I always know how to come down. The bravest man in the universe you stay in the sun much too long.